thought I'd just give you an update on what's going on with the mob spawning. I'm now on 1.20.9, and when he put this out, Tyron said, released 1.20.9 to address newly introduced mob spawning issues. Let's call that apocalypse, please. And a server-side error log spam in one specific case. I don't know what that is. But he also said, I also boosted block light levels. Now that's very interesting to me, because I've always thought that this area looked a bit dark, but I've stopped time, and if you look at this, can you see that it looks a lot lighter? Can you see how white this floor looks? Now, I haven't gone into any settings and changed the look of this floor. It just looks really, really white. So I think that has boosted it. And do you remember, I've always been very concerned about the light level in here. It's always looked really dark to me, particularly this area. This looks a lot lighter. So I think he has boosted the whole light levels. I mean, the pillow looks, you know, like gold. One point I should make is that my game probably looks a lot lighter than yours. The facility was added in the JSON files for people to boost light levels if they wanted, and you could boost it to 0.3, 0.5 I think was the maximum. I boosted mine just to 0.3, and the reason I did that was because being a YouTuber at night, it's so dark, you just couldn't record satisfactorily. So my game will look a lot lighter than yours because I've boosted the light level through the JSON files anyway. Boosting the light levels in my own JSON file to 0.3 did not seem to alleviate the pressure on mob spawning in my world. I was still getting, as you know guys, apocalyptic levels of mob spawning. It was just horrific. But I think whatever Tyron has done may have affected the spawn levels a little bit, but I think the game looks so much better with this light level. I thought I would update you on Bony soil, because we have had a wonderful discussion in the comments section under the video I did on Bony soil. I reached out to Tyron and I sent him a copy of my video, and he said, and I quote, "We did not touch bony soil in a long time." Now I don't know when the last time they touched it was, but he said they didn't touch it in a long time. But the comments themselves in the comments section I think were, or are, fantastic and very, very interesting. A lot of you seem to feel the same as I do, that they have been nerfed a bit, or a lot actually in some cases. Let me get this off my bar, then we can see what's coming in. I am grateful for flax. That's 1 flax and 1 bone so far, and I'm also grateful for flint arrowheads. I would like some jewels, but I'm not getting those at all. I've not got, out of only 20 blocks, temporal gears, and I've not got rusty gears. Now, Labardin said the jewels are very rare. I agree with that. He said, I've panned 35 blocks of bony soil and I've yet to get any copper. Good grief. It seems useless to pan it anymore. I find that odd. I'm going to do 10 blocks, by the way. So we'll see how we get on here. It's quite interesting because Mary Floor 5025 said, check with the traders. If they're no longer buying rough gems, I'd say this has probably been done deliberately. In fact, it hasn't, because I happen to know that Tyron and the other developer who started the world, Saraty, Saraty in particular I've played with on various servers. I count her as a friend, and she loves panning bony soil. She loves getting the jewels and then going to the artisan traders to buy the beautiful ceramic pots and planters. And Saraty is the one who designed them all. So you can imagine how nice it is to play with someone who actually designed it all. So I don't think that she would have put anything about that. Lots of you went back and checked. Michael Arrett said, now when you said that, I can't remember getting some. Getting all sorts of stuff like fibres, gears, I wish I got gears, bones and spearheads, rib cage. But jewels, I can't remember when I got one last time. Around 40 bony soil here they've panned. Sorry, what he said, at least you're a gem finding all sorts of issues. I never know whether the issues I find are real or imaginary. But if I am feeling that I'm not getting jewels with this bony soil, because so many of you have the same feeling, I'm not sure it is imaginary. Now, other people are saying fine. Anna Chibi. Hi, Anna Chibi. Lots of comments over the years from you, my friend. Says it does feel like I get less in general, but maybe it's a bad run of RNG. I don't know what that RNG is. That said, I also got my first temporal gear from panning. Yeah, it's always a good source. So there we are. A lot of you said, well, we're finding them. And Helen, no, not Helen, Helia Raven. Hell Raven, that's a nice name, Helia Raven. I've gotten jewels from Bony soil. I don't have exact stats, but I've gotten diamonds, emerald, and peridot, yeah. I also have the BetterRuins mod. But they're playing on 1.20.7. Yeah, somebody said, I have 60 hours, Jalopy Justin, 1966. I have 60 hours on my world. I've accumulated 3 gems in total, 2 diamond and 1 emerald. I've panned 24 blocks of bony soil. Good for you. That's a good stat. Now, a great friend of mine, Anne Daisy, who you may have seen some of his videos. He's a superb builder. He said, strangely, I've been experienced a similar finding. Very few jewels, very few candles. A stack of 30 bony soil gave me 2 candles. I feel bony soil and mob spawning have been changed. Well, we know about the mob spawning. The bony soil is the one we're looking at. So he has the same feeling. And Darkest Coupon said, I'm finding plenty of gems. So it's probably just really bad RNG. I don't know what RNG is. Somebody tell me. Now, Anon Nopleb, hello. Thank you. He said the game files suggest a drop chance of 1% for low potential emerald and peridot, and a 0.7% chance for a low potential diamond. Copper spearhead and gold silver nuggets all have a chance of 1% as well. Thank you for that. I am not technical enough to truly read the game files well, so I appreciate that comment. So other people like Tent said, I panned 120 bony soil, oh my word, and I have 5 diamonds low, 5 emeralds low, and 8 peridots. And he said, that seems low for 120. Wow. So what we've got is the developers saying, we haven't changed anything to do with bony soil. We've got actual evidence saying what the percentage drop rate is. We've got people who seem to think it's okay, but on the other hand, there are a lot of you and people like Andy and me who do feel that we are not getting the return from bony soil that we used to. Now, bony soil itself may not have been altered. The question is, has something else been altered that would affect bony soil? I really don't know how these games work in enough detail. What I would say though is it's a fascinating discussion. Thank you all so much for your comments on it, which I thought was really helpful and very, very interesting. But the other thing I would say is if enough people who've played the game for a long time think that there is an issue, there may well be one. Has the luck itself been altered? Can you alter luck all told? Or do you just have to go through 100 blocks for one jewel? I don't think so. See, I'm very grateful, I would say, for the arrowheads and the copper spearheads and the flint spearheads. I love all that. And particularly at the moment with flax, I am so grateful. It takes longer to grow flax now, it's more difficult. And I am so, so grateful that we still get, or I still get, flax from bony soil. That's a real treasure. It's becoming as valuable as gems. I've got gold and silver, so I'm not complaining about that. It's the actual jewels I want. I've always been addicted to going to the artisan traders and buying beautiful things. And I really, really want those jewels. Now I can get peridot if I find some peridotite. Wow! And I can find diamonds if I go through enough swavite, and I may have to mine swavite to get diamonds. That might be another way of getting diamonds. So they're all time consuming, but it is doable. It might be cheaper to actually go into trading. Let's just finish this block and then we'll see what we got with 10 blocks of bony soil. It's not much as a sample, I must admit, but it's all I've got. A rusty gear! So, 6 flax, lovely, 27 bones, 10 flint arrowheads, 1 copper arrowhead, 1 bony rib cage, 1 candle, which I'm very grateful for, some native silver, and a rusty gear. It's not a bad haul, but again, no jewels. I'm going to keep trying. I'm feeling that with the developer saying nothing's altered, that I should just say it's bad luck, but that's now 30 blocks of bony soil, not 1 jewel. And also my gut feel is it's different. Anyway, I thank you all for your feedback. It was superb. Thank you all so much. It was a really interesting discussion beneath that video. Bye bye, my friends.